The coalition is looking increasingly unruly over what's happening in our classrooms. There's a row over the Conservative Education Secretary's decision not to reappoint the Labour-supporting chair of Ofsted, the body which inspects schools in England. Sally Morgan used to work for Tony Blair, but there's speculation that a Conservative will take over from her at Ofsted. The Lib Dems have criticised her removal and say they'll ask searching questions about her replacement.
Is that person independent-minded, qualified, and do they command the respect of all the players? That's the real test, and the worry at the moment is somebody who has all of those qualities has been removed, and we are led to believe, or we do not yet know, that the replacement is likely to be somebody who doesn't have those qualities but is in fact a political appointee with a political agenda.
Michael Gove says he wants to see more discipline in schools, but there's precious little of it inside the coalition. Now, it was always the case that the two parties would move further apart in the run-up to the election, but it's a measure of the growing gap that they've even fallen out over the fate of a former Labour advisor. And the language they're using about each other is far from complimentary. The Liberal Democrats, for example, saying that they're in coalition to keep the Conservatives honest. And the Education Secretary told the BBC he honestly makes appointments on merit.
There is a principle across government that there should be no automatic reappointment, and that after 3 years or 4 years, whatever the term is in a particular role, it's appropriate to bring a fresh pair of eyes.
So just how political are appointments to public bodies such as Ofsted? Michael Gove's favourite think tank, Policy Exchange, looked at the numbers. In the Blair-Brown years between 1997 and 2010, appointees who said they supported Labour outstripped those declaring backing for the Conservatives or Lib Dems. The coalition has cut the number of bodies, but for its first 2 years, there were still more Labour supporters. Now, that's changing. Today, Labour wanted to focus on one appointment in particular.
Well, I think it's very disappointing that the Education Secretary is playing politics with such an important post as the head of Ofsted. Sally Morgan was doing a good job working with the Chief Inspector, Sir Michael Wilshaw, on raising standards in our schools, and I think she should have been allowed to keep on working hard for our schools.
The government will spend the next week highlighting its education policies, but in the process, relations between the coalition parties could be put to the test. Ian Watson, BBC News, Westminster.